Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.
Good afternoon and welcome to, what is this, September 26th? Daily live stream. And today's topic is how to flip a contract with $100. So we're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate with your cash or credit. Really is not that important. Just need the information and apply it. Low risk, high reward opportunity that you can get in the game. So we're here to answer those questions for you. Did we post a thing on TikTok?
No.
Okay. You can do it from this phone.
Because it ain't gonna be in the drafts.
That's right. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow.
All right. So so we're here to talk about the thing. And so let me get you some of these. Yeah, there we go. So text the word Gator. This is for them. Text the word Gator to the number 205-964-5243. If you want to join the live stream, we'll push you to the front of the line. So VIP, they letting you in, pop bottles right here with us. $800 a shot. So Gator, text the word Gator to the number 205-964-5243.
Your club gonna be closed real soon.
No, it's a lot more stuff comes with that $800 besides this the shot.
Okay.
Like real. Okay, so text VIP to the number. If you want to get a playlist of all the videos to take you step by step on the process of how to do this, text VIP. Plus, you're going to see one of the more recent videos that I did that'll help with tax lien properties and that type of opportunity. The times, these are the times, Monday through Wednesday, 3:45 p.m. Eastern-ish, Thursday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. So remember the times. So you don't have to actually get an alert because we really can't control a lot of that. Just put it in your phone, set a timer. This guy's going to be on. He's going to try to help me around this time every day based on your time zone, of course. Check local listings. We don't ask for much. 4 pillars. Subscribe, share, like, follow. Boom. Depending on the platform that you're on, everywhere you can like and share, depending on where you are, subscribe and follow.
You having trouble today.
The paperwork. So we're going to talk about that, but if you want access to the contract to make all of this happen, text the word contract to the number 205-964-5243. All right. That's all we got for right now.
All right. Yes. Okay. So this one came from Car Snob on YouTube. They said gonna be some gems today and is.
I hope so. Yeah.
I'm
gonna try.
All right, let's go with this one. She was on before we even started. Her name is Jennifer Roberts. She said, I need some help. Please, my uncle died and my other uncle is on SSI and can't afford to pay the debt on the house. Now does he want to live in it? How do I wholesale the house so it doesn't mess up his SSI? Yeah, that's the question. And then she said, sorry, he does not want to live in the house or own it. He just wants to get rid of it.
Okay, so has an uncle that needs to sell a property. He's on SSI, and you're concerned if it's going to affect his income. Well, I can imagine that it would. If this is the house that. So wait a minute. So the uncle died. I guess that was his brother. and so now he owns the house,
Mhm.
and he doesn't want to live in the house. To make sure I understand. And so if he sells the house, if he liquidates the house, he doesn't want that income or I don't even know if capital gain would even apply because it was just an inherited property. I don't see how that could affect anything. I don't know, but that's what an attorney would be for, a real estate attorney. Now, as far as how you can wholesale it, well, I'm assuming he's comfortable with you helping him sell it. Then at that point, it's just, will he actually pay you for helping him sell it? Now you can explain it to him to make it just to put the proper paperwork in place that he needs to give you a price, and hopefully that price would allow you to actually make some money on it by wholesaling it. So he just needs to establish a price, and you run your numbers from there. But you have to also see how he wants to do the business side of it. Is he just going to sell it and give you some money for helping him sell it, or if you're just going to put the paperwork in? So that's not an issue. Put the paperwork in place, and that's not an issue.
All right. Let's see. This one says, "Hello, Flipman and ladies. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm still searching. Everybody's just saying, 'What's up, Flip? Let's go.'" Jennifer Roberts said it's her birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh wow, September. Somebody else I know birthday today or close to it.
Coming up. I'll be turning 20.
That's
16.
15? I'm just like, it's going down.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying what's up, good afternoon. This one came from Chris Wilkins. He's from Facebook. He said, "How do you get into Airbnb arbitration with no money?"
How do you get into Airbnb arbitration with no money? Chris, I'm not one of those people that'll just start talking just because you asked a question and I'm supposed to know, or you think I'm supposed to know. I'm very comfortable and proud to be able to tell people when I don't know something. I have no idea. I know very little about it. Some I probably could figure out, I guess, but it's going to be tons of content out here. Hopefully, it's a version of my channel out there that's just going to give it all away for free. Well, hopefully that exists for you. Does that answer the question, you think? But I don't know, my man.
Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm reading.
Let's see. Yeah, somebody said much love from Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond.
Jarvis Brown from YouTube said, "Does wholesaling still work?"
Yes, it does, sir. Why wouldn't it? How to flip a contract.
Let's see. Sam Alton. They said, "What's up, Flip? How do I find a good video on how to commercial property? Better to show me how to deal in the commercial space, period. Multifamily property and commercial buildings."
Well, there's really no. So he wants to know if there's a video that I have on how to comp commercial properties. Well, there may be a couple of videos I have out there where I speak about apartments or multifamily, which 5 units or more are considered commercial. And then maybe on some single tenant triple net stuff I may have out there. But in general, with commercial, a lot of the value, because that's what you're trying to come up with an end game. A lot of the value is based on the income that it can produce, the net operating income, meaning you're taking the total amount of the gross income for a particular year and subtract the expenses for the year from that number also. And so that'll give you your net operating income. From there, you divide the price into that amount. That gives you a capitalization rate, short for cap rate. And then you'll sort of be able to identify based on what other properties are selling for based on cap rate. What's the word I'm looking for? To identify a value. Now that's just one way. Now sometimes someone has a different purpose for a property, and that's where the value is, but that's all speculation. Ideally, you want to try to buy a property based on what it's doing right now. Now, what it can do in the future, because people are always looking for value add opportunities, does matter. But for you as a wholesaler / investor, you're trying to get it to a price as close as it based on what it's performing right now, and you're still trying to get a significant bump on that also. It doesn't take as much of a discount with commercial as it does for houses, but you always want to try to get something for a noticeable amount less than what it probably would be of value, that, especially when you're trying to do it from a wholesale position.
Okay.
All right, this is not a question, but this is on Instagram. This person said, I got my first deal. I closed October 10th for $10K assignment fee. It took almost 6 months. I almost gave up, but we do need to double close. And then this person also made a statement they want to do an interview with you on here, I guess.
That same person?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's possible.
She put her number in here.
Yeah, just text me 205-964-5243. Text me at the number, and we can discuss it.
All right. Let's see. Oh, Jennifer, we weren't saying you were 16. We was playing saying Ken was 16. But you 16 too, girl.
Do you really want to go back that far?
I would.
Okay,
I wouldn't mind.
Maybe 18.
Yeah, maybe 18. We can
I
still
don't
get in the
know if I wanna go
club.
back to 18. Maybe
21 at least.
No, we're talking about believable.
probably about 20.
20.
About 20. I'll take 25. I'll take 30. I'll take 40.
So Sam
Might be possible.
Sam said, I know you said you would have started with commercial instead of residential because it's easier and more lucrative. You still think that?
I didn't say easier. If I ever said that, I take it back. I ain't gonna say it's easier, but definitely more lucrative.
Less competition.
Now, if I would have had the experience I had with houses, the first I would have made a deal happen fast like that, then yeah, I was not even thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot less competition. So they're trade-offs. Houses are generally easier for the average person. Some people laugh at what I'm saying, but for the average person, houses are generally easier. They're normally easier to reach out to the owner, which is the decision maker. So that makes it easier. But normally there's a lot more competition, right? Houses can generally be easier to evaluate for the masses. Just me now. So again, somebody else say you crazy. But the trade-off is with commercial, less competition. Your buyer pool can literally be nationwide. Obviously, the paydays are generally bigger. It's just different. Just like you're dealing with a body, an ocean versus a lake. Both of them are water, but they're different. So
All right.
what's the difference in an ocean and a sea? A sea is smaller than an ocean, I'm sure, but what's the significant difference? Is a sea like what's a sea?
I think it's
How
probably
does
the
the
sea.
We learned this in history.
Probably the sea might be some partly enclosed. I don't know. I'm
We're
just
gonna have to ask
speculating.
Ariel, child.
Yeah, ask Google.
Right now.
All right. Let's do a few more. Omar, I see you in the chat.
See?
Oh, a sea is enclosed by
That's
land.
what I said.
Boy.
Mhm.
So is a lake though? Is a lake and a sea the same, or a lake is a lake because it's fresh water and a sea is seawater?
Salt water.
Salt water, I mean. Yeah, I said seawater. Salt water.
It's becoming
Google
history.
It's
it.
probably that in because it's bigger.
Google it.
I guess y'all acting like me when I say I guess y'all acting like me when I say, well, how is knowing now it's okay to learn that whoever discovered it, man, I'm just gonna use Christopher Columbus. I know that's whatever it is.
Yeah, American.
But whatever it is, whatever we've taught, I don't need to know that but one time. I only need to hear about that one time. I don't need to hear it again. You know what I'm saying? Whatever time they bring it up, that's the last time because it's not going to make me a dime. So me saying about the sea and the ocean, we don't need to hear that once. It's probably not going to make you any money. So
unless you doing something with that, then no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, most people it's not going to make them a dime.
All right. Let's go ahead and add Omar to the chat. Let's see.
OC, I hope he got that check. He supposed on. Hey, you must have got the check. You said you weren't gonna hand it back till you had the check.
No, it's still cooking. It's cooking.
All right.
It's cooking. Yeah. So how's everybody?
What you on an airplane, man?
Nah. This my company vehicle.
Okay. Thought you
Yeah, I know.
in a jet, cargo jet.
Yeah, I know. It looks like it, right?
Yeah. What's happening?
Ain't nothing much. Just picking up what you putting down, And so I remember you taught me last time on how the checks are moving at the closing. Far as the buyer working with his closing company. The question is that buyer putting the seller's name? Do I tell the buyer to put the seller's name on the issuing of the checks with his company, or am I giving
Yeah, what happens is the buyer funds the deal, and whether it's a title company or a closing attorney, then the buyer gives them the money, and then they disperse the funds either through a bank wire or a check, actual paper check. But the buyer's name or any of that won't be on it because they gave the title company or the closing attorney or escrow company, whatever it's called, the money, and then they fund it based on their accounts or from their accounts.
So I would tell the buyer to tell his closing company or title company to put the seller's name on that check.
No. They're just gonna. That's just gonna automatically. Well, let me back up. You're right in a sense that I have this document called the closing detail sheet, and what it does, it identifies who's the seller, who's the buyer, the price, obviously address, who's paying what, who's receiving what, namely your assignment fee or whatever it is, and then who's paying closing costs, and then in the comments section, they may just have your contact information there. However, but that document identifies everyone's roles, what's being paid, what's being received. So,
All right. So pretty much I would probably be getting the seller the money.
Well, no. Again, the buyer, the reason this works is because the buyer is funding the deal. They're the one that bringing all the money to the table.
Okay.
What happens is they give the money to whoever's closing the deal, whether it's a title company or a closing attorney, and then they fund the deal based on what the buyer has submitted.
Okay. Wow. All right. So like before, I'll just bring my body and my ID and pick up a check. Or wire, or they wire it. However.
Yeah, they wire it. Yeah, they'll do that also.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. That was all. All
right, man. Well, be careful out there, man.
Yeah. Thanks. And it's cooking. I'll let you know. When the pop up.
That's what's happening.
All right.
It's good to hear from you.
You too. Appreciate you. Well.
All right, you have some. Okay.
What's going on?
Don't forget to like,
TikTok, Instagram, you all have no questions? Are you not entertained?
Questions.
Or are you here to be educated? I guess you could do both. I would try to accomplish both. Sometimes, I go off or whatever. Some people straight out hate it. Some love it. So
you do that.
I go off the topic
You
or
do
whatever,
that.
real estate, and just go. I got, I'm old cat. I got some stories and shit. I know people and share, some of their stuff or whatever. I call it no names or whatever that I think is funny or interesting, depending on what it is. Go ahead, though. Let's get it.
All right. So Wesley Harris from YouTube, he said, "Hello, Flip Man. I have a deal I'm working on right now. He wanted 140, but I talked him down to 120. It needs $30,000 worth of work done, and it can resell for 220. But it's kind of hard for me to find a buyer. What should he do?"
Okay, so you said 220 is your number. Now, some people use a different way of going about this, but I'm going to use the old reliable. 220 is the number. And so we multiply that times 70% minus the 30. So we're at 124,000. You say you talked to, so you're close. Now, technically, I haven't included your fee. Ideally, I probably would have wanted to be around 100, just on the numbers. I'm not sure what you're doing to market the deal. But it's a little thin based on running those numbers. So yeah. Well, again, I don't know how effective you are at marketing your deal, letting people know you exist, but assuming that you're great at it and no one has bid on it, then that means it's not cheap enough. Your market has spoken. So you need to go back to the seller to try to get a discount or possibly cancel the agreement if you're still within your due diligence period.
Okay. And he said he's in Midland, Texas, the oil field country.
Midland, Texas. Okay. Yeah.
All right. We're back on Instagram. They said, "Flip Man, what do we do if there's no comps player?"
All right. So what do we do if there are no comps, Oksana? What do we do if there are no there are no comps? All right. So a couple of things may be going on here if there are no comps. All right. Now, sometimes depending on the tool you're using, just using Propstream as an example, it's just going to have some default settings, like as far as the square footage of the property. The house may be a lot smaller than the normal size house in that area. And so that will sometimes prevent it from pulling any comps. Or it could be significantly larger than the other houses in the area, and that'll prevent it from pulling comps. If that's not the situation in any, if it is a simple situation, if it's larger, just reduce the square footage. If it's really small, just increase the square footage. You have a filter to the left of the page there on the comps page that will allow you to do that. Now, assuming you do that and there's still no comps, then that means more than likely it's not going to be any buyers. Now, what I would do is I would Google the address. Google the name of the city and state. And then once you do that, it's going to pull up a little map to the on your page, either right side, the top, depending on what you're on your smartphone or on a laptop or PC, whatever. And so you want to click on that map and you want to zoom out. Well, first you want to identify the population of the place. All right, once you do that, then on that map, you want to zoom out from that particular city to see if it's how close it is to the next largest city, to see if it's a possible a part of the suburban area or not. If it's not small town, then it's going to be probably trouble to move it, in a lot of cases, because you're just not going to have enough activities there, which along with enough cash buyers there either.
All right, we have another one on Instagram. How do I approach people who are in pre-foreclosures or foreclosures?
Okay. How do you approach people that are in pre-foreclosure or foreclosure? Now, I'm assuming, let me just explain the two. If you come across a property that's quote unquote a foreclosure property, that means the bank has literally taken it back and now they're the owners. Okay, that's one scenario. Now, pre-foreclosures is that the person that got the loan from the bank still owns the property, but they're behind on payments. They missed their monthly payments, and now the bank says, "Hey, we've been trying to work with you, or we hadn't heard from you, blah blah. We got to start the process of, trying to recoup some of our investment and minimize our losses by foreclosing on you." All right, so where's the opportunity there? In the pre-foreclosure, the opportunity may be if you can reach that owner, they may sell it to you at a significant discount depending on how much is owed. All right, or it may be a situation you could try to negotiate a short sale if they do owe near the retail value of the property, try to get it discounted. The only thing with that is during short sales, you have to be prepared to go from probably a month to maybe up to 6 months before you even get an answer of what price they will sell on. And a lot of times it's be still far off from what you'll sell on, but others, it may be a deal. So those are the main differences. Now, if it's a pre-foreclosure, the equity is already there, and they just behind the payment, then it's just a normal deal or whatever. But if it's not, the equity is not there, then you have to negotiate with them and then negotiate with the bank through a short sale if you want to pursue that. There are easier deals out there.
All right. Samuel Baker said, "What it do, Flip Man? I have a lot of land right now. To where a lot of land right now, new to where I live. Would I be able to send them over to you, or at least the numbers on the signs?" Okay.
All right.
Good job. Good job.
I had a long weekend. All right. What I said, what
That damn fan.
I have a few lots right there to where I would be able to see over to you at least the number. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Just take them over. Yeah, that screamed my dad. I told you, oh my God.
I thought the screen had froze.
Did that to me, so I did.
I thought the screen froze up.
No, that's why.
They weak. Boy.
I said they sitting in laughing emoji. Some people just missed it though.
Yeah, I don't think YouTube
So
know.
quick.
All right. This one says, when working with realtors.
Oh boy.
Catching those Z's.
Oh.
This one says, when working with realtors, what contracts should I use, if any, with the realtor, or which do I use for reassignment with cash buyers?
All right, they said, what contract should they use if they're dealing with real estate agents? Well, real estate agents are only going to use the contract approved by the board of realtors for whatever market you're trying to target. So you can just get that out your head. They're only going to use their contract. So you have to just make sure the terms within that agreement allow you to do what you want to do.
Okay. So I guess that's the same question they asked. What contract do I use for cash buyers?
Well, okay, that's different.
Okay.
All right, so with cash buyers now, the one-page contract that I give away here, if you text the word contract to the number, not only will you get in a video that explains to you how to fill it out for sellers, you have a video that explains how to fill it out for buyers and how to get it signed electronically. Now, a lot of buyers will use a contract because it's simple, straightforward. Sometimes buyers have their own contract that they want to use. As long as it doesn't conflict with the contract that you have with the seller, it's good to go.
All right. This one says, how do I wholesale a rental with tenants in it?
How do you wholesale a rental with tenants in it? Some people term that as a turnkey situation. If the tenants can be proved, well, not always, I guess, but normally they're proved to be good tenants. No, let me just say this. Let me back up. Two ways of looking at this. Some buyers will take on that that property, whether the tenants are good payers or not. Some won't. Some won't even deal with it, whether the good tenants are payers or not. They want it vacant. So, and then some want it because it is renting and it's probably renting at market rate. And so it's an opportunity just to buy and start receiving cash flow on their money. So it's just going to depend on the situation. But in most cases, you can still wholesale it. You just have to coordinate everything because the tenants do have say so on when, well, not always, I guess, because I've been where people just, the landlord, I'm with the owner, which is the landlord, they just go knock, they stick the key in.
Oh, wow.
Hey, they give him about a minute. He starts sticking the key in. Knock, knock.
Man.
You gotta work the money.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's the question. The numbers have to work at the end of the day, but it's done all the time, all the time.
All right, this is on Instagram. Do I need a license to wholesale a house? I think that's what they meant.
All right. Do you need a license to wholesale a house? It depends on what market you're in, but for the most part, most states, 47 of them, you're okay without an actual realtor's license. Now, in the city of Pennsylvania, PA, recently they said you had to have a wholesaler's license, which is not the same thing as a real estate agent's license because you don't have to take a test. You just pay the $500 background check, from my understanding, and boom, you're in the game.
All right. This one says, if I acquire a tax lien property with that new software you're promoting, would I be able to assign the property to a cash buyer prior to the 3-year window that the original owner has to reclaim?
All right, now it depends on what state you're dealing in and what what the process of that tax lien is. So basically, it's saying, can they assign that they picked up a property, a tax lien deal? Would they be able to assign it over to a cash buyer? And yeah, you could, but again, you just gonna have to understand the process of it, whatever state you're targeting or whatever properties you're targeting in a particular state and their tax lien process. So, but to answer your question, yeah.
Okay. This one says, what's the best strategy to get and flip high-end properties? I have one in DC and getting no traction.
Okay, so what's the best way to flip a high-end property? They're in DC and not getting any traction. So what's the best way to flip a high-end property? It needs to be a deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the start there. Are your numbers attractive? I would love to hear your numbers. What's the ARV, and what's the contract price you have? You don't have to give out an address or anything. Let me hear your numbers.
All right. This one came from Bobby Flint on YouTube. He said, can I find apartments in Propstream?
All right. He wants to know, can he find apartments or leads in Propstream? Yes, you can. Or I guess he means build list or whatever through Propstream. Yes, you can. Now, some cities, some counties, states don't code those types of properties as apartment buildings. That's the only issue you'll run into, which could be a major issue. I say only, but could be a major issue because you may not be able to build lists large enough to make sense.
All right. Let's see. Somebody said Birmingham is here. Hey, girl. Hey.
BHAM, what's happening? What is that? I am K Fox.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Love the hair.
Let's see. This one says, where's the best place to start with an out-of-state flip and a short-term rental? I'm in LA and the prices are outrageous here.
Where's the best place to start an out-of-town flip and a short-term rental? Any of the cities that have some water involved. I would say any of the cities that probably have professional sports. That would probably be a good idea. Well, I would say where it's warm. People like to go where it's cold also. So that's not a deal breaker. Now a flip is really not going to matter where it is in reality. Well, yeah, I'm going to get to that. So you say prices are expensive in LA, but just think about it. If they were too expensive, no one would live there. Obviously, it's relative. That's what people can afford, or they couldn't charge what they charge. Really, your opportunity is right there in your back door. All right. And if you have the money to do a flip, then you have the money to play ball in LA, even if you had no money. But definitely if you have the money to actually do flips, meaning you buy, renovate, and then flip it, then you definitely can play ball there in LA. You just need to market your butt off. And the one thing about it, out there, the properties don't have to be as deeply discounted as they do in other parts of the country.
All right, this question is on Instagram. This person said, "Are tax liens easy to get into if I'm not in that state?" Sorry if you already answered.
No, are tax liens? They've gone to cheerleading to make sure I'm alert. I'm not going to use the S word. So are tax liens easy to get to if you're in a different state trying to target? Yeah, a lot of people run their entire operation. It's just another form of virtual wholesaling. It's just another lead source to possibly, to buy some real estate or wholesale it or whatever you want to do. The tool that I showed you in the video, you want to access that tool he's talking about or they're talking about. And they're talking about text the word VIP to the number. And that video, I think it's the second one there on the list. And that video will maybe the third one. It'll show you how that tool is so valuable to be able to do that, right? And so, but yeah, to answer your question, I would love to work with you on it. If you're down, you find a tax certificate property.
I want it now. Okay, so.
Oh, and I did the interview with the attorney. I just got to get it. Well, I'll do the editing normally. I just got to edit it and get it posted up. What shirt did I have on that day?
So
I guess it don't.
Samuel Baker said, "Hello, Flipman. Which skip trace do you use as well as dialer?"
What a beautiful question. One second. There you go. All right, so this will answer the dialer question. Bloop, 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 bloop. And there are two answers to the skip tracing. Go with Skip Vault. And if you text you use the code Flipman, whatever discount they have going on, you can get that. That's for the promo code. And then the other thing is, on the other skip tracer, you can use batch leads, but also you can learn how to do your text messaging. Text the word text to the number, TEXT. Text the word text.
All right. Let's see. This one came from Jeffrey Daniel. They said, when working on a deal with an agent, we would have to produce the EMD to finalize the contract with the seller before we find a buyer for the property. So would they have to do that?
Yeah, Jeffrey's asking, do they need the earnest money deposit if they're dealing with the agent before they find a buyer? And in most cases, yes. Now, you could structure an agreement if they'll agree to it, where the earnest money deposit is not made hard or made available until after your inspection period or your due diligence period, which you try to get a minimum of 10 days. They're going to try to push for 3 or 5, but just hold your horses on it. There's nothing like making your offer and holding to it, especially when you're dealing with agents. Now, if it's a hot property, you weren't gonna get it at your price anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a hot property, so hold your offer. That initial conversation that may be had with them, they may be tripping or whatever. But once they know your money is there on the table or whatever, and they're not getting any activity, they'll come back to you again. If it wasn't gonna be a deal to make the numbers work for it, they're gonna move it anyway. Now, sometimes you'll get them and they just, they'll just rather let it sit than to take your property. But a lot of times they're gonna push for it. That speed and cash are powerful, which cash normally defines speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful in the real estate business.
All right.
Space, as they call it.
Robert McCrae said, when you submit deals to Do You Later with your email address, is that how you are connected and get paid?
Well, you're going to get paid because now, of course, again, ideally, Mr. McCrae, we would love for you to have the properties under contract. That's our preference. That you've reached out to an owner, you negotiated a great deal, you have it in the contract. So now about the payment, assuming that, everything works out, we run the numbers, we agree with you, what you have it under contract for, we find a buyer for it. So whenever the deal closes, you get your 50%, we get the other portion. So that's generally how it should work. What's going on there?
All right. This one says, hey, Flippin' team, I appreciate all you do to provide us with live streams and content. Keep it up. All right. This one came from Miss Lien from YouTube. She said, do you have to register your business with every state's register of deeds you want to wholesale in?
No, because what is going to happen is, they don't. Well, I haven't had enough of them to care. Now, let me just say this. Now, if you're going to, I don't even know if that matters. That's a good question. I've never had to double close in a different state, so I wonder. Now, they will want your information on your entity, your LLC, or if it's just in your name, that's different. But got an LLC or something, and that's what she's asking, I guess. They're going to want your articles of incorporation and all that stuff. That's a good question. I know if it's just assignment, it won't matter. But if you double close, I don't know if that. I don't. No, it still wouldn't matter because people buy property. No, it wouldn't matter. It would be no different. My name. I don't live there if I bought a property, so no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. I just have to think that through really quick. It won't matter.
All right. Sheldon Collins said Oklahoma just passed the law stating no wholesaler can sell real estate with a license. Is that true? Oklahoma passed the law saying no wholesaler can sell real estate with a license.
Yeah, I guess it means without a license. Well, that's not. I didn't call out Oklahoma.
Oh, you're right. I didn't read the next comment.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, that's been in effect a year or two now.
Let's see. Charles Solomon said, I found a property for sale by owner. I contacted the owner on the for sale sign. No one answers. What should I do now? I left voicemails and texts. Should I move on?
No. You want to reach back out to him. You definitely want to reach back out to him, until they say no, or you get somebody on the phone. They may have sold it and they've stopped entertaining calls on it, may have changed their mind, but they're gonna have to probably tell me that. Just periodically try to reach back out to them, try it from a different number. Also.
All right. This one says, hey, Flip Man, I've got a house for sale by owner sign. I've got a house with a for sale by owner sign right across the street from my house, and I'm getting ready to give them a call. Any advice for wholesaling in New York? Okay,
so I'm assuming you know what to say. If you don't, you can text the word script to the number 205-964-5243. And that video will help you with the verbiage and the lingo. Don't sound like you're reading from the script, though. Familiarize yourself with it. You're just having a conversation, but you just know what information you need to be able to make an informed decision on wholesaling. Now, as far as advice on wholesaling in New York, it's a little, I mean, I guess you mean in the city. It's a little different animal from my understanding. I think both parties have to have an attorney or whatever, but that's no big deal. So you just need to learn the landscape of it, and that's where your networking will come into play. I would try to find some wholesale groups in the state of New York and try to, just monitor that content, ask them questions or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the same. Just bigger paydays if you're in that city area.
All right. Yes. Okay, this one says, hold on. Are you still partnering on commercial properties?
Oh, most definitely. I had to answer your question. Yes.
All right, this one came from Donald Davis. He said, how are you doing, Flip Man? I want to ask you, how would people like me and others like myself want to join your class and courses?
Okay. So he wants to know, how can they join the class and courses? Well. Now, again, guys, everything you need to know is free right here on YouTube, right? I like to make that very clear. Text VIP to the number, okay? And that gets you going. That playlist of videos. But if you just must give me some money, I will take it. If you just must. So I do have courses and coaching. You can go to flipman.net, like you see back here in the back. Let me see. Where my man at? Hey, boom. Imposter.
All right, this one says, how would people, I just read that. Sorry, that was a joke.
You did.
They said, I would love to work with you all. I'm looking at a commercial retail property in Arizona. It's 75,643 square feet. Retail center, 7.2 acres. It's currently 97% occupied by 15 tenants.
Oof. Well, not saying it wouldn't be a good deal. But no, seems to be a really strong property or whatever. Normally we're looking for some distress. There's no distress at 97% occupied. Now, you may have gotten fortunate. Dad is retiring. I want to say someone's passed. And his kids didn't want it. He wanted to bless somebody else with a discount. I doubt it, but just to find a property like that, it sounds like I don't want to speculate. Mm-hmm. So we need the numbers. We need to know a price, and we need to know the annual revenue. Well, we need to know the NOI. So the annual revenue minus the gross expense that gives the NOI. We need to know a price. That'll tell me a lot.
All right, this one says, I'm on Propstream. How do I contact the seller?
I am on Propstream. How do I contact the seller? Well, I guess they mean that they found a property on Propstream. Wait now, look at that boy. They found a property that they want to reach out to the seller on through Propstream. Okay, so now you need to skip trace that information. Now, if you have Propstream, it's best to download the app, and you can skip trace prep fairly quickly. You can do it through the laptop or desktop version, but you have to save it. Then, it's a little bit more complicated. So add $5, go to your settings and add $5 to your account, then download the app. And then from there, you look up that property address and then hit skip trace, hit the blue button, agree to the 10-cent charge, and magic will happen. That's a simple way of doing it. Or you can go to Skip Vault, use the promo code FlipMan, and you can do it there also. It'll cost you 50 cents.
Voila.
Voila.
This one says, where can I go in my state to purchase house listings with the owner attached, if possible?
Well, we're just sort of talking about that. Let me see here. I think we got a card for it, guys. I'll be shocked if we don't have it. Shocked I am. Famous words of Yoda. I thought we had one that said list. Let's see. There's 100 ARV units. No. Text the word list, LIST, to the 205-964-5243. And that video will explain how you can build lists to accomplish what your question was asking. Rock light.
All right, this one says, what are the most common repairs that are needed for a flip?
Wow. Okay. So someone's asking, what are the most common repairs needed for a flip? Normally, if you're trying to do a fix and flip, people normally going to spend most of the money in the bathrooms and the kitchens. That's normally what sell houses, right? Now it could be other issues going on. Just depend on the house, man. That's such a broad question.
Roof,
you can have roofs, you can have heating and air, windows, may need to replace flooring, plumbing, electrical, lawn care. We can just go on and on. Siding, painting. It's just gonna depend on. I don't know what's the most common because you're gonna get houses in all types of conditions or whatever. So, and a lot plays into what how the price point of the houses will factor in on. Sometimes you may have an opportunity to add square footage and it can be justified in the price. Just too many factors to go into that, my man. This is really just I can't answer that.
A good question.
Great question. A stumper.
All right, this is on Instagram. Do you think the market is going to drop?
From Instagram, do I think the market is going to drop? Let's define drop. Drop to what now? It's not going to be as hot as it was where you're asking $500,000 and you're getting offers, people pay $600 for it. Yeah, that's not going to happen anymore. The interest rates have increased, so it was done by design to try to slow inflation. Above my pay grade of understanding all of that, but as far as real estate, still going to be endless opportunities. You just adjust with the market. At the end of the day, if they didn't make houses become free, shelter become free, which it probably should be that, but whatever.
Some kind of standard.
What?
You said they should make housing free.
I'm just saying it could be a great standard, depending on, culturally, if everything else, you have a good foundation, everybody's getting the same education. Now they call that socialism or whatever. That tends not to work out that well or whatever, because normally you still gonna have people in power seeking their own self-interest.
Always.
It's just gonna always be the case. So you're gonna have the haves and have-nots. Those historically have created more of the have-nots than the haves. You know what I'm saying? So because you don't have the opportunity to, well, that's normally over history how it has happened. But that's the case regardless of what it is, really. So but anyway, my point is, don't worry about that. Don't listen to the news. They don't. It affects us, but it doesn't affect us. Because they don't understand how we get down, how we make money, or whatever. They're basing that on how real estate agents make money. That's a part of it, but it really ain't, in a sense, because we're creative. They just gonna go by the book, just down that same road. No matter, there's a different route. We can get to the same place. There's a different route now. This road, now you see the detour. Now there's a detour. Still can get to the same place, but now there's a detour to get to it, which is a payday.
That's fine, but you're still not telling me anything. How am I making money?
You're gonna be doing the same thing you're still doing. As of right now, we're gonna continue to do what we're doing until further notice. Do the same thing you've been doing or attempting to do.
Why are you still going to be able to make money? Because
people still are going to be buying houses. People are still going to be renting properties. all that stuff's still going to happen. It may become more of a rental market, right? So you're still going to have investors looking for opportunities. We feed investors. We feed them, they feed us, and blah, blah, blah. So people are still going to invest in real estate, period. Period. I don't care what the market. You find a great real estate deal, you'll have a buyer for it. If you find a great real estate deal, now it might didn't have to be as great as before. So now the great has been redefined. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. The great real estate deal may have been redefined now compared to this time last year. But that's the only real difference. I can just tell you, it's sort of hard to do it without numbers, but I think you get what I mean. The opportunity is going to be still there. Don't stop listening to the news. Ugh.
All right, this question is on Instagram. How does loan work in the U.S. or Canada?
How do loans work?
Yeah.
Loans?
It's a loan. Yeah, loans.
LOAN?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
They must not be from.
You need some money. You need money. And you're going to have institutions, sometimes individuals, but you're going to have institutions that will loan you that money. Because they want to loan you the money because they're allowing their money to work for them or their investors. Because you're going to, if you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to give them back more money than they gave you. They call that interest. One of the greatest hustles of all time is up there. Y'all agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I give you 100, you give me back 110. Do that 10,000 times. That $10 adds up.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, good. You got.
I'm about to say, I just got statements now.
Let's see.
Oh, we 57 in. We can do the thing.
Yeah. Okay. This question kind of relates to what you were saying.
Okay.
They said, with the country in a recession, do you think it would be wise to take the 70% ARV price and deduct it a little more, maybe an extra 10?
Well, a good tool that will identify that for you. If you text the word, what is it? Text the word
GD.
Not that one. Not that one. Text the word Flippanar. This video here will help with that, knowing what investors are playing in a particular area. When you get to the page, just scroll down. Don't hit the get started because you're going to see prices, but you want to see the actual training. So yeah, you'll adjust. It'll adjust to answer your question. We're not in a recession, but again, what does that really mean? That's more stock market related. Obviously, that trickles down. Don't get me wrong, but again, guys, don't worry about that stuff, man. It's still gonna be opportunities out here. You know, as long as stuff don't go one way or the other too far, left, right, or whatever, you're good. The opportunity is going to be there. It's just starting to get warm in here. All right, so we ready?
Mm-hmm.
We ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today's topic, how to flip a contract with $100. So what am I referencing? Obviously, we're here to talk about wholesaling real estate where your cash and credit doesn't matter. You can put real estate deals together, make money, and you don't ever have to use your cash credit, whether it's good or bad, right? And so that all starts with the paperwork, the contract. Okay, so why did I reference the number $100? I could have used $10, I could have used $5 or whatever, $100 most people can come up with if you have to borrow $10 from 5 people or 5 20s from, well, $20 from 5 people, or did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, $20 from 5 people, or borrow $5 from 20 people. All right, so anyway, come up to $100. So with that being said, that 100 is used in this situation is that allows you to put up earnest money deposit. To define earnest money, it's the amount of money used between and what's agreed upon between you and the seller to say, I'm serious about buying this house, if I don't, you keep it. Now that could be a penny in reality. Now in the real estate agent's world, they normally want $1,000 minimum and up. You might get away with 500 in most cases. There's no law; it's just their standard. So why I reference the $100 is because you can literally find a great real estate deal. You put it, you and the seller agree on that amount. So now you need the paperwork. That's this contract that I'm talking about. So when you send them the contract, whether you put it in the hands or you follow the instructions in this video on how to do it, they sign off on it. You'll have $100 in there in the space that says earnest money deposit that you will actually get back at closing. So whenever you have it in a contract with the seller, now you are a principal interest in the deal, Ken. And so you have some power. You don't own the property, but you have some leverage where someone will pay you gladly to move out of the way, right? That's your cash buyer, your investor. So you may have a property in the contract, just use an easy number for $100,000, and you market it out there, your contract for $125,000. Someone agrees, say, hey, I can't do 125, will you do 119? See, we will do that. So you get a difference between the two contracts. 119 and 100,000 is 19, and you spent $100. Okay, so of course most of you already knew that, but some might not. But yeah, that's how you can flip a contract with $100. That's all we're doing is flipping paper. The name of the game is flipping paper. You ain't owning no real estate. You're just flipping the paper. You're finding the deal and then flipping that paper. So, anything else? Or
you want to do more?
We've been an hour in. We're pretty good today. I don't want to have. Yeah, we have to go back and see what that happened. I think it was around 29 minutes. Anyway, guys, we appreciate everyone joining us today. Again, if you didn't get your question answered, post them in the comment section of any of the YouTube videos. I answer those on a daily basis. Make sure you like and share this. Follow me here on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please, and share and like. As I said again, we're on between around 3:45 Monday through Wednesday and 8:05 on Thursdays. Nothing else, guys. We'll see you all on the flip side.
Follow us on Pinterest.
Oh, we got to be up to about 50. Got to be.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
215-960-5243.